What's up, everybody? My name's Big Cam and welcome back to another trailer reaction. And today is finally the day that the Supergirl first trailer, might even be like a teaser trailer, got dropped. But they had dropped this other little teaser a couple days ago and it was only 15 seconds. So I want to play that before we get into the main trailer and talk about everything that came out, I think literally yesterday, you know, and all the information that we were getting for Supergirl before the trailer dropped today. And I haven't fully dove into the trailer yet, so you guys are going to get my live, raw reaction to it here. But yeah, let's start off with the teaser trailer from yesterday and see what that's looking like. So not a whole lot going on with that one, but you can see like our girl Millie Alcock there. She's like standing there with headphones in, like almost Walkman headphones, almost Peter Quill-esque. And no, this movie is not directly from James Gunn. So to have like a Guardians of the Galaxy reference and Easter egg in there like that, I was like, wait a second, whoa, what? I was like, it almost made me think. I was like, wait, did James Gunn do this? But no, I don't think so. I think this one was written by Anna Nogueira, I think I said that right, and Craig Gillespie directed, you know, so I don't necessarily know their work other than Supergirl here, and I'm gonna be open arms and open eyeballs for their new movie here, because just from the teaser alone and like the little score, I think Ramin Djawadi is his name. Yeah, Ramin Djawadi. He did the score for Supergirl, and he's also done scores for things like Game of Thrones, Eternals, Fallout, Iron Man, you know, so he's a awesome composer, and his work on Game of Thrones, I mean, it is in my head all times. Friggin' if that opening theme song is him, oh, he does great work. And just, you know, a little teaser here of the score from Ramin Djawadi. It sounds awesome. Ooh, it sounds epic, and there was actually this like 2-minute version of it released, and I was listening to it earlier, like absolute vibes from the Supergirl theme song, you know, and some people weren't here for it. I am certainly here for it. I'm vibing already. I'm like, what the fuck? And then like this poster is like her in this like long trench coat in her Supergirl outfit. She's got the sunglasses on, she's got the Walkman around her neck, and you know, she's looking gorgeous. And the Superman logo is virtually the same, but this one looks like it's spray painted and it says truth, justice, whatever. So like his was look up, you know, you will believe a man can fly type shit, truth, justice in the American way. Hers is look out, truth, justice, whatever. You know, like I am so here for her vibe already, and I haven't even fully dove into the trailer, so let's do that now and see what's happening with this. But coming July of 2026, July 26th of 2026. So right around the same time when Superman dropped. I think Superman dropped like July 12th or something, I don't know. But I think it was July of this year in 2025. So now we're getting another super fam person with another movie going on here in July of 2026, and then probably Man of Tomorrow, July of 2027. So the summer of super people, I am freaking here for. And at least Supergirl doesn't have to compete with Fantastic Four and Jurassic Park at the exact same time. She might have to compete a little bit with Mandalorian and Grogu, but that should be in May, so maybe not, but who knows. But yeah, in the close-up here on her like Supergirl logo looks awesome. And yeah, those are definitely the Walkman headphones that Peter Quill had in Guardians 1. So I don't know, maybe some Guardians vibes in this, but like her messy hair, the glasses, she, you know, goes to other planets to get drunk, you know, like her vibe is not goody two-shoes Superman like we saw with David Cornsweat's Superman and James Gunn's Superman. This looks fascinating to me, so let's not waste any more time, y'all. Let's jump into this trailer and see what Supergirl has to offer.
managed to get most of it on the paper this time. Good job, buddy.
So we start out the trailer with Krypto knocking over a bottle on a record player. A record starts, and then he goes over and finds, you know, some exposed electrical outlets in the floor that spark, and he's like, oh shit. And then he pees on a newspaper that Clark is on, and you're like, god damn it, Krypto, you such a bad boy. But he does look really good. He looks pretty much exactly the same as he did at the end of Superman, but even worse of a dog than he was in Superman. So maybe Clark was rubbing off on him a bit, and he was starting to become a good boy in Superman. But with Kara here, it's gonna be back to his old bad boy ways. In the newspaper that Krypto pees on says Superman saves town from nuclear reactor explosion. So I don't think that's what we saw in Superman, right? I don't think there was any nuclear explosions and towns being saved in Superman. So this is some of his other escapades he's doing on the outside of the Superman movie that we are not seeing, but clearly making the news in the Daily Planet. And who knows, maybe that's Clark reporting about himself again, who knows. But on to the next portion of the trailer here, and it looks like Kara's boarding that plane, bus stop, whatever thing that we saw in the initial teaser trailer that they put out even a few days ago, teasing that they were dropping the trailer today. Very exciting so far. Let's jump into the next portion of this trailer.
Zor-el. Hereby declare that 23 will be the best year yet. Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
Damn, so it seems like it's Kara's 23rd birthday and she is depressed and down on her luck, and she's like, I declare 23 is going to be the best year ever. And I don't think Melly Alcock's 23. I think she's older than that. And if she's not, I mean, what a gorgeous woman, Millie Alcock. I've been obsessed with her since I've seen her as Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon, the young Rhaenyra in the season 1, but oof. Perfect casting so far from what I'm seeing. And she's like, you know, at the bus stop, and this like giant ship lands and then brings her to this bar on another planet where she's drinking like this drink that seems to be on fire, and she like blows it out at the end of that little shot there. But Krypto there, as he like looks up at her and like gives her a little ear, Krypto looks great, you know, like I thought he looked damn good in the Superman movie. He looks even better in this. Like Krypto, for a fake dog, for a CGI dog, looks incredible. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe how good this freaking dog looks. But she lowers a disco ball and is like dancing her ass off in her messy hair and her messy look, and yeah, the dog doesn't even seem happy with her, even on her poor decision making and drinking. He's like looking at her like, come on babe, we could do better than this. But from director Craig Gillespie, and on to the next portion of this trailer.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Krypton didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Ooh, interesting. So at the beginning of that shot, we see a giant domed city, like, or just a giant city with a laser beam being shot up into the sky and like an energy beam surrounding the city. Some people are thinking that this is Krypton. I'm thinking maybe not, but then we hear this girl talking like, hey, what was it like for your city to be destroyed in a day? And poor Supergirl's like, Krypton didn't die in a day. The gods aren't that kind, you know? So her city or home got destroyed. Is she even from Krypton, the same as Kal-El? Is she from a different planet? Either way, though, it looks like this planet's getting absolutely destroyed and buildings falling over and dust coming everywhere. And, you know, it looks like her Kryptonian family are maybe in a funeral here, and they're all dressed in white, and the people in the front are carrying like some type of coffin. And, you know, she seems to be out in space screaming, but no noise, because there is no noise in space, you know. So that's a nice little detail. And then they get surrounded, and it's, you know, she's with this young girl that she's looking to protect, and I don't recognize that young girl from anything, you know, not from the comics or, you know, hearing about casting for this movie or anything like that. And I was thinking the unexpected companion that she'd be with would be like Lobo, but it seems like it's going to be this little girl. Who knows? But she's on this alien planet, and they get surrounded, and they all start pointing their guns at her, and she's like, it looks like this isn't going to end well. For you, I mean. And then it looks like she starts to fight them all. So it looks like this summer, Supergirl here is going to be beating up all these guys' asses. And yeah, on to this next portion of the trailer.
Do others on your planet have powers like you?
No, it's a pretty small group of two.
What's Superman like?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
Ooh, my goodness, what a... Oh my god, this part of the trailer just gave me friggin' chills. So we see like maybe one of the big bads here with fire behind him as he walks up, and he has like all these piercings all over his face. The guy looks creepy as hell. Kind of looks like Aleister Black from the WWE. If you guys know, you know, but Jesus Christ. And the little girl here is asking her questions, and she's like, so does everyone have powers like you on your planet? And she says, no, it seems like just a small group of two. So just her and Superman are the only ones that have powers from Krypton? Interesting. Interesting indeed. So no like General Zod or anything like that? Or is it Krypton, or like her parents don't have powers, or Cal's parents didn't have powers? Interesting. But we see her using laser vision and like protecting this little girl, and like flying and crash landing, and a ship crash landing into this giant rock. And then she's holding Krypto. Oh no, it looks like Krypto gets hurt. Jesus Christ, James Gunn. Oh, this one's not James Gunn's fault. But either way, if they hurt Krypto, I'm fucking rioting. Oh no, Jesus Christ. Look at our poor boy. He better just be real tired. He better not just be like dying. He better just be like tired, or maybe he took a shot and he's hurt. But like, do not fucking kill Krypto. Fucking Christ. Oh, I'd rather see Superman die than Krypto. But like, come on. Fuck. We also see a quick shot of Jason Momoa's Lobo stepping through a friggin' wall, and he's smoking a stogie. Looks like he's got a big fur pelt coat on. Man, nice. And this young girl that she's like protecting too seems to have like this sword that she carries around. Interesting. Ooh, and she asks her, what is Superman like? He sees the good in everyone, and I see the truth. Ooh! Oh my goodness. So, ooh, this is like setting a tone for her that I really like, as like, she's like this grungy, she's younger, she's a little bit more irresponsible, she's a little more gritty, she's a little bit dirty, and she's like, listen, he sees the good in everybody, I see through people, I see the truth, you know, like, I see if somebody's a scumbag without even talking to him, you know, like that type of shit. I don't know if I'm onto something there, but I'm liking her vibe so far. But even just like her first superhero close-up with the sun, much like Kal-El, where like the sun casts this crazy glare before we like lock onto a shot of him. The sun's glaring, and then we come into a close-up of her just like, I see the truth and floating in the sky. And I love her like gold belt buckle, her skirt, her like long sleeves, her cape. Oh, she looks really good as Supergirl. I can't wait to see a full friggin' trailer. Like, this is teasing a lot, but I don't even know if this is considered a full friggin' trailer yet. I mean, they are showing quite a bit, but man, is it cutting fast. So like, going frame by frame, even just scrolling through it slowly is like, I'm missing stuff, but this is nuts. I wonder who these guys are and what planet she is on drinking, and then she ends up saving this kid. Like, I don't know, and well, if Krypto dies again, I'll be fucking pissed. But so if Superman sees the good and she sees the truth, what's going to go down between the two of them? Interesting. I'd love to know their relationship. Are they close cousins? Was he just watching her dog, and then she called him a bitch and that was it? She doesn't want any relationship with him outside of that? I don't know. But Krypto seems to be with our girl for this movie, and she seems to be pissing off some other alien people on another planet, and they're shooting at her, and she's got to fight back and protect this kid, you know? So I don't know what's going to go on with this movie, but I'm already interested. But let's finish out this trailer with the last portion here.
What's Superman like?
He sees sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
They chose a great song too. Call me, call me, call me. But yeah, we see her all in her Supergirl garb there, and she's like swinging this pole around and knocking out a bunch of these dudes on this top of a ship, and then the explosion goes off, and we see her from behind as the explosion goes off, and then it cuts to the Supergirl logo with like sparks coming from around it, and like, I don't know, her logo seems to be more like metal when it heats up. Like the bottom left corner looks to me like titanium, if you know what I mean, like when it glows blue and purples when it gets real hot. Maybe that's her vibe, or maybe like the poster we saw at the beginning of this episode, like more of a spray painted Superman vibe, you know, like she isn't quite the Superman we remember. She's Supergirl, but the same logo, but different. Same, but different. But only in theaters July 26th, 2026. Filmed for IMAX. Hashtag Supergirl. Oh, written by Anna Nogueira. Directed by Craig Gillespie. Based on characters from DC Comics. And honestly, this one might be the closest to like Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the comics, than any other comic book movie before it, you know? Like, this one may even be directly adapting a comic book, who knows? And they also released the Supergirl premise for the movie, and I have it here, and it reads as, when an unexpected and ruthless enemy threatens... Ooh, so is that the face-piercing guy that we saw, or is that maybe Lobo? But either way, it says, Kara Zor-el, forced against her will to team up with an unlikely companion, maybe that little girl we saw. Together, they embark on an epic cosmic journey where revenge and justice are at stake, and where Kara must confront her origins to find her own path as a hero. Ooh, so we're gonna start a little bit into Kara's story, it seems. We're not going to start at her origins, but we're going to start into her journey. Some shit's going to go down. She's going to end up with this unlikely companion, this younger girl. She's got to protect her, but it's also going to make her face where she came from, probably when that girl's asking her questions about like, whoa, what's your world like? What's this like? You know, are you the only one with powers? Who's Superman? What's he like? You know what I mean? Like, maybe she's, you know, going to have to face her past, and then we'll see flashbacks of her like origins and how she got her powers, how she met Clark, you know, maybe not, but maybe we'll just see, you know, how Krypton or wherever her homeworld was got destroyed, and then, you know, she'll have to go on this journey to friggin' kill or get revenge on that pierced-faced guy, or maybe even Lobo. I think they might end up working with Lobo at one point, or maybe have a quick fight with Lobo, and then Lobo won't be a big character in the film. But imagine if it's Kara Zor-el, this little girl that she's with, trying to get her wherever they're going, and then Lobo, and it's the three of them fighting against these bad guys. I would die laughing. Or even if it's just Kara and the little girl fighting against Lobo, that would be a worthy movie to me. But whether it's Lobo or that other pierced-faced guy or some other villain, I'm kind of here for this movie, you know? Like, it's giving... I heard a lot of people saying it's giving Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3-ish vibes. But I don't know. Maybe the musical choices in this trailer gave me that kind of vibe. But this is giving me like a lone girl on the run, just like causing problems. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This is giving me more like Honey Don't or Driveway Dykes. You know what I mean? For some reason, it's like that in my head, where it's going to be entertaining as fuck just to see this girl be herself. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't need to be anything else for me. I am digging her vibe already. It could just be Millie Alcock being the actress and how much of a crush I have on her. But just her vibe in this trailer, that one line where, like, Superman sees the good in people, I see the truth, you know, gave me, like, chills. Like, oh, Man, oh man, I can't wait to go watch like breakdowns on this for people that are like real comic book nerds that know everything in the backgrounds and these characters. Like, I can only give you face value what I'm seeing, what I'm taking in, you know, and some of the things I know. But for the most part, I'm with y'all. I'm not an expert in the comics. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that I'm excited and I can't wait for this. And if you're wondering, you know, where can I find more information on this, I would go to like New Rockstars, see what Eric Voss has to say about the Supergirl trailer. I'd go over to Phase Hero, BD, and Jenna's channel, Brandon Davis BD, and go read some comics. They definitely will, especially Jenna, go read some comics. She will have a breakdown for this trailer that will be very in-depth. Coy Jandro, I'm sure, will have a great one out there. Heavy Spoilers will probably have his own take, although on Twitter I did see already that he wasn't a fan of this trailer, but doesn't matter. People can have different opinions. It's all right. Me personally, I am excited. I can't wait to see more from this universe and see more of Supergirl, and hopefully Crypto does not get hurt, but who knows, he might. But comment below your thoughts on this trailer. I'd love to hear those down below, or you can send them to me on my other social medias. Links for those down in the description below. But if you've made it this far into the video and you would like to support the channel, the best way of doing that is dropping a like on this video, commenting down in the comment section below, subscribing if you haven't already, and hitting that bell so you don't miss future trailer reactions and you get the notifications when those come out, or the next time we're talking Supergirl, you get the notification those come out. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.